ye be chirechire mu nim say Italian Serie A na return I was say ye hu Juventus squad because players on bebo ball are very very important. Italy ho no mutumi ye signings ne ade on te ho asem bobo ko efe no AC Milan was say ye hu squad ben no mode ba bebo season no players ben no ne yetumi agina so de atwa bet Napoli team no striker ben na eba be she agina mu abobo na to net mu was say ye hu ansa na ye twa bet no enti ye be real squad nim ye be real mu Germany big teams no Dortmund no players ben no mode omo ba omo ni St. Pauli na ebo players ben no mode omo ba omo betuma hye na ya hwe no na fe ye hu de ekone because say ne ye hu de Chelsea ebetumi de aba it appears say corners ne be dos won Chelsea game timo pa ko teams na ya majo so be come to atwom o me ka twom so de a ne corners no be den o me committee enti no ni nyina ye be hwe na fe bibia tumi ayede akoye e wo no other teams no ma be Madrid say ye hu say Madrid team no yes omo pass create chances nkola na egba mu no create chances ne ade a enti ye be hu Villarreal so say hu am na ebode am after say omo players ni bi Yeremi Pino mu ne ade nyina no ase omo pese omo free won ne ade omo Bena afri wako Atletico Madrid die no mo de ba Atletico Madrid omo betima bounce back and omo team no aye set omo fa player ba ko de free Napoli anya asem keto akra eti ye be hwe omo bohom ti ebe di san komo ne nyina na afi yetumi de guso me say Galatasaray de obehye ono obehye about over 3.5 ono ko away Galad nko ade me say me de ma Galan nko ade obehye over 3.5 ewo ho eti ye be rewre mu na afi ye di san komo na bibia so etumi ade akoye na afi transfers no so nyama akon kakra ne ade Chelsea asa ton player ba ko ene Renato Vega. What does it mean for mo balance of payment no balance equation na outing out income no at the same Chelsea are spending same ti yes data no be bro no hu de ekọ ne de there ba Man United dey tapia say o be sign goalkeeper. Now what does it mean say our goalkeeper name ba what does it mean for Africa this year Andre Onana we ene nkomo bebra ye ba be di e wo show ni so my bet ene so ya sen show no live or MYBET.AFRICA TV e wo YouTube to do a na mo de anu a share show no na wa like it na wa comment na afi bibia tumi akọ so betumi de o saba betuma e bia team se be win no betumi de aba na afi yeso yetwa bi na ya hwese wo so de na ade ba no bibia eda na kwa mu de a na fe ye hu de ekone de ba fe Facebook no MYBET MYBET na what ntemu kakra na de Africa na de aba Africa na AFRICA Africa MYBET.AFRICA Street is watching on Facebook Street is watching Facebook account ni di no Street is watching a Facebook account ni di no ti mo de na join here hosaso na ABN Radio 1 ABN Radio 1 so Facebook TikTok no channel say ochina after Manchester City and Tottenham Hotspur game no ekwan bia so ye be TikTok live na ye discuss match and ye ba be hwe 2 p.m. games no inti channel so man ye be join your TikTok live and no ye sports.arena.news sports.arena.news ewo TikTok and na baby ye black market baby ye di dwa no baby ya to din say sports arena nti bomode am na oni yen enye den enhwimbom sesei amanfo dodo na ehu ye page na omo join ne ade a ndra abutum se ne nam 30 ne ade a amanfo hwe kakra kra omo behu page no na afi bibia so no atumi akoye ti wa join na afi wonso watumi a share ama onua bi so ensa ayeden akan bi honom within the list of Vincent or Benedict or yan come MYBET education im kakra na afi yan hwe Benedict MYBET education no
yes e chia ahwefo na say ne na Friday o masamba bejo ne say omuni en ba be ahwe abom na MYBET the time be tufo So betting platform and they wait me try better fiscal MYBET.AFRICA. Until edu weekend say ni na ni age because Friday, Saturday, Sunday and then market days no. Until ne ope baby abe fiscal. Me too for say bra MYBET.AFRICA na be try bet one fiscal. And the metro options ba ku mienu a weekend we betimi dia fiscal MYBET into tie na bibia ntimi nkoyi ewo ko www.mybet.africa. Now also join in MYBET ebusuano. Oko abehu register. Umia register ne so 3 simple steps. Now they are registered by became busuano. The first one your phone number. Oboshemua. Now for the audio mobile money transaction. Send any woody abetimi yi scano. Ababe to mobile money mudi. The next one your username. Oboshemua. Now for the wako. The next one password. Ubehu password any confirm password. Ni na ya de bako. Oboshem now umia register ne so. But send you verification code. Now they are verifying now to about become MYBET ebusuano. Very simple so be join MYBET. And they betting platform I would sky mu do or what and ya fini grand audit and I fini ye tune cobra omu di scan be ma na ho ato. Weekend you do be selections here day. Ube hu matches e wo ho no almost getting to 200 and e wo ho. Unhu de wo fa enu nti na MYBET e de bet feet aba. With bet feet o ma per expect ama mo ma hye bet ni go. And yes, if you share bet is by force train no there be okofa it depend on odds up 10,000 per 20,000 ofa odds now what bet me yim a select I the TB or PBA now we out do sika tai chicha and ya fina bet na say actually pen ni paper through teams need ya ko check it there be MYBET for a day bet fees buy be boa ma bibia koyi weekend we early payout teams no mu free preseason buy and chair into no mshe goes back communal na bra TSM into use early payout option no and a team ni she go 1-2 na cash out to sika na oko the weekend you are MYBET.AFRICA now so became busuano na fiscal
right it MYBET in common na yegu so aye de yedi no mama yen hwe transfers na kakra na afi ye mehwe games no.
Yes, list to us ye share transfers na mama starting free draw game a course so that is Crystal Palace game on my boy na him saying ka easy bet me ejini mu aboamo but after before the game no na Oliver Glasner e ka say easy free moti ase say onya ya nko mbe yi ne free match squad no say no no so bet me prepare me akwa in medicals ama bibia etimi akoye o ntundwa hwa team no e course ye Emmanuel Mateta etimi share Crystal Palace first European game goal emoma with 1-0 victory. I think a good solid victory, especially going away. Me can say if they need to win comfortably and draw. With 1-0, I think Oliver Glasner a coach onim Europa nebo awaji bida ubebo ni dia account. The performance wise onim dioye and going on the away game near 1-10 a betimi abo mama bibia koye. So easy in sem no na indra list o mi hu image bi minim say virus the best so amamia easy Twitter post in 2015 in 2015 concerning on time we free Arsenal now ohwe ade a watcho in the Twitter post now or say I swear I'm going to make it and when I do they are going to show this tweet and LOL post way 2015 time na Arsenal na nyama nkoye ma no ano nko free on na enei wasign am Arsenal a say with this particular comment to make here no wetimi leave and wetimi manifest amanitimi abi.
Don't you think he has even done it? Because getting opportunity to play for the Three Lions.
Yes.
The opportunity
no, and target Arsenal because of any boyhood club or supporting. Na OGD so we tell you no wo do Arsenal no ko betimi mpo aba timi aba be do any team need me asset but I think we are see we a big lesson mine e do baby anyama ntimi nko yi wa brabo but OGD say metimi aye now we a particular goal our person will achieve ya obetimi aye so as a player who share back in 2015 tweet we were that was on 17th of April that is the 20th 21st 22nd of August now Arsenal for etimi atona IHS ampa he has lived that dream and I think Arsenal for announcement on bear for easy said tweet we am be more e be me ya ye papa because it shows say boy no or a die-hard Arsenal fan waiting me about be do sa level
let's discuss the thing in context.
Yes.
Clear say returning to Arsenal obey indicate or say opese Pachomo Fanto Sumai.
Yeah.
He want to. I swear,
I'll make it.
I will make it. And when I do, they're gonna show this tweet. Now, making it in football, what does it mean?
Playing at
the highest level and winning laurels.
Yes.
At this stage, he has won. He's playing at the top level
Yes.
because the English top flight league, Metimaka says is the best league basically in the world. And Obama Crystal Palace.
Yeah.
Now he's playing at the top level, so he has made it. He has won trophies with Crystal Palace. Yes. Now another milestone is playing for one of the top clubs in Europe.
Yeah.
And as we speak, even if say Europe in the English Premier League, Arsenal are one of the top teams.
Yes.
So he has also achieved that. Now beyond that, making it as a player must come with laurels, right? Hinty, what kind of way I want to make it since I want to be successful in what you are doing in your profession. That is born or born. Are we saying say the fact say what to me are returning to a team na Obom Academy no almost sake no because he was not good enough, or no are returning to a first team no and none say he has made it, or winning, going to top club, winning laurels and be successful at that level no. And a chess and a situated this particular tweet. Maybe say
with this particular tweet, we share the context of what tweet is more about he's looking at there will be a timer day na a war on refer to be about day no person or chair Arsenal for because of the time they released him, and they are going to show this tweet, meaning say or what they are to or make sure say bedu debino obetimi either say obebo Arsenal biom na send am kind in his announcement they would refer to this tweet, or obetimi about to the highest level performance obetimi ada need Arsenal fans and our Arsenal team would wish to have him back. That was the context of the way. I don't think that if it's relating to trophies, medals, playing for the Three Lions, or even maybe playing for any top club, that wouldn't be the message. But the message is trying to clarify, say, Omejai me mami ko, kona me kono, maybe me kwa yire me home, me kwa ko bomb home odi, me kwa clubs be and na me no so no, ebedu baby we are seeing na beti menka. Then maybe Arsenal would either regret or they would now come back for me. And I think say this tweet is popping up because Arsenal itimi rema we scout mo dia kwakofa easy at this age or releasing at the age of 30 now. It shows the performance with me and I think that he's one player playing football from KPR coming down to Crystal Palace. No, when it seems that one day I would like to play for my darling club, that is Arsenal. Or meet me signing a MYBET. So I think from a side with me idea as a maka and I'm abim. Inti and no a whole lot of people are on this particular tweet. Yeah, share Indra in the last 48 hours, there are a whole lot of clubs I need almost phone for Chelsea concerning their players. Sending our boss Renato Vega with me moving to Villarreal at a good money for Chelsea, because last season almost getting to 14 million. They are getting in excess of 25 million. That shows the quality of business at Chelsea here. But as of now, course Chelsea based on 3 players, and the 3 players are course so one Chukwu Emeka Okechukwu, yes, and the other one Nicholas Jackson, and also play a friend Christopher Nkunku. With Tottenham missing out on Eberechi Eze, now Tottenham say they can have an agreement with Chelsea to get Christopher Nkunku to their side. So Bayern Munich negotiation ni Chelsea need to me anko send a Chelsea penal. Now Bayern Munich ni Chelsea negotiation akwa kosi say Bayern Munich if say me player ni loan, then later with an option to buy. But with Chelsea side, they value Nkunku at 30 million. Send your man come from the start, because Todd Bowley who said it wasn't their remember said their error no to that particular player. So letting him go Adebakwa affect you baby. So Tottenham any meet me Chelsea didn't come on. But unim Daniel Levy any Chelsea in common. A cut back to Modric, Luka Modric time and Chelsea penna Daniel Levy cancer. So beton Modric Palmer Chelsea dia in Cobetimia or beton ama maybe a championship club. And ye him say we thought Bowley mu any the blue coat no. They will be okay to have a negotiation with Daniel Levy on Christopher Nkunku moving to the other end. And I think with a player with World Cup and so bano, a play a big factor. So Tottenham team no assess, you know who say okay, I can get enough playing time in the setup. Maybe before the end of the transfer window, no, Christopher Nkunku beat me joining Tottenham Hotspurs. The other player, Nicholas Jackson, and as of now, clubs are banning home. Newcastle, Aston Villa, Bayern Munich, and they known clubs from Abano. But as information and caution, they've been several clubs. And they almost have Nicholas Jackson on beat me a fan. But I think say with a player, Senka Chelsea beat me keeping it will benefit Chelsea, it would benefit the player. And
who?
Nicholas Jackson. I didn't
agree there with what the coach is saying that he's yes. Going, of course.
Because I didn't make us say he's a player. The talent is not questionable. Talent equita Nicholas Jackson as a player is not questionable. But the only thing is say talent. Say Ushe Memva Mudrik or Tattoo be on the corner. Tattoo no on the corner. HS talent is not enough. Talent is not enough in football, in the world of football. The likes of Dos Santos, the likes of players Bibriaba with a lot of talent, but on your discipline, who work rate in Israel, you cannot perform to the highest level. And nothing who say there are a lot of clubs coming in. Chelsea with Enzo Maresca commented, said now no, it's over between Chelsea and Nicholas Jackson. And I measure the three options: Newcastle, Bayern Munich, Aston Villa. Which of these three options send a player like Nicholas Jackson? Now, Osha, I think say going back to Unai Emery, the coach of Boano, Osha Unai Emery, he has been that father figure for Nicholas Jackson. Nicholas Jackson on a press conference, even player interviews. I can say Unai Emery coach bia utimi Boano man beti how the European football he has been able to live that dream. Emanity movie from Villarreal to Chelsea. So I think that Ocean Newcastle, yes, they are in desperate need of a striker. But how would Nicholas Jackson fare? With he going to Newcastle, no, it will be like he's coming to replace Isak, and the fans will be expecting him to at least replicate something like similar to Isak. Then maybe there will be a lot of pressure for the player like Nicholas Jackson moving to Newcastle. But I think that Aston Villa, with his father, Unai Emery, he would guide him well. And you'll be able to get the best out of Nicholas Jackson. I wouldn't be surprised. Say, Aston Villa beat me for Nicholas Jackson. Now next season, performance will be better than the Ewan Aston Villa. A lot of Chelsea fans, a lot of the Premier League faithfuls they don't regard Nicholas Jackson. Would sit down and say he has shown yes that talent he had has been enough for him.
If he goes somewhere and flourish,
yes.
Why will any Chelsea fan say? Maybe it was wrong for Chelsea to sell him because he has gotten all the opportunities, all the chances, and it is clear he couldn't live up to Chelsea standard. Now Chelsea penal, the talent will be any doubt. And the talent in a man Chelsea confirmed by, and the talent in a Chelsea then even in January when everybody was saying Chelsea needed a striker. 1 year day, one phobia and phenomenon yet. He couldn't live up to the expectations. So why will any Chelsea say, "Okobe no flourish here"? It was a wrong move to sell him. It's 2 years and having opportunity because we've seen Mo Salah wasn't given enough opportunity. Kevin De Bruyne didn't get enough opportunity. Most of Chelsea players are didn't get enough opportunities. But Nicholas Jackson's situation in there, he had all the opportunities I was there to be the lead striker for 2 seasons.
Yes, and I think says Osha send our can and Obi Osha show wait me a bit me the madam says every time I remember her any issue about Nicholas Jackson, every time I hear that complaint because I think say the likes of Didier Drogba, the likes of Samuel Eto'o, the likes of Nwankwo Kanu coming into the Premier League, Omenyani easy say. They had to fight with top strikers to get their playing spot. na bibi omo make in those clubs any say ye bo clubs are African players etimi aba be dominate ya anya den kra na one maybe an European or an English born player and na play that particular role, but they were able to do well and they become legends of those clubs. I think we say now kind unya chance, the chance need you unya, but football talent per enye adie no, hard work, putting in the work, and yama I say
you need to deliver. It's as simple as that.
I say utimisuya and yama you are lacking to improve. And win to me under 2 years and when you thought Bolimu any Egbalimu went under a lot of way if anything insult and a lot of things from the Chelsea fans because I didn't think he was striker, he's not giving us the numbers, and you people are not poaching the likes of Victor Osimhen, the likes of Victor Gyökeres into the setup, but they were backing him for the last 2 years into Mianfa. And saying how kind, I think his time with Chelsea is over. It depends on how he can take this as a good type of initiative and the next club will be will say yes, I need to be serious with the clubs I make home. Nicolas Jackson or Mauskana. Who be can
that's all what time now can do.
I think say he out of these 3 clubs, Aston Villa would be the best club for him because I think say with Unai Emery being in charge, Unai Emery would help him, would have time for him, and he would move to become one of the best strikers in Europe. Yeah, Man United, and I no pay. Ruben Amorim in some more can say Onana is feeling okay. Oh, so beat me about. But I think the last statement to make here and Adebakwa raising a lot of concerns, and I think in Kofa Jambisi say Man United will surely sign another goalkeeper. Okay, say Onana air fit na kwan bia so no beat me aye den. Etimi ada po no but ombe decide nipa ye behwe so betimi ada po no against Fulham. And anytime be a coach or number 1 goalkeeper and make something or a concern like that, it brings a lot of question marks on does the coach really likes the goalkeeper? Is the coach looking at say goalkeeper win about number 1 throughout the whole season? And now say them and Ebekoso. Man United are still negotiation with Royal Antwerp for their number 1 goalkeeper. I find Lemans. I think he's a quality goalkeeper. Omar Bibia the ball playing aspect, ne awareness, ne intensity in games. Onyo bia opeso take a lot of chances there be. Ni the say ball na ba waje, wana wachi, or their money player. Say ball ne ba ebetoni eba omoside a. Say you bet me a ball ne free no bet me a ball. And I think Man United they need a good competition for Andre Onana. A very good competition for Andre Onana, and this is a young goalkeeper coming in, and I think say if they are looking at buying a goalkeeper in himself Donnarumma, they'll be looking at the price and also the whole lot of conversations around it. Lemans one goalkeeper they can get into their setup, and I wouldn't be surprised say before the end of the transfer window Man United will get this goalkeeper because Royal Antwerp value the goalkeeper at 30 million, and over the England scene of football a transfer 30 million 25 next annual money there. I say chicken change be more. So if they need the quality to come and compete with the likes of Andre Onana to be that goalkeeper, and they will go into games. They know say almost solid back. Born you do what and finna they are just wishing some man share and a player named Messi, but they'll get a goalkeeper who would perform so well. I think Lemans 1 goalkeeper Man United can go in for. Manchester City Tottenham Hotspur's game ever course, and I think with this game. The ama in Yamabaso the transfers, yes, maybe I can't transfer based on it. Savinho, because in him said Tottenham, Thomas Frank actually a lot of interest in Savinho, and not Onyaya and coordinator, but City value the player at 60 million. But at the entire making of our basis idea we swear. Pep Guardiola last week STT said Savinho appliqué and injury, so he wouldn't be part of their match day squad. After Pep Guardiola press now, I think a day, and as Savinho be posted a picture where he was at the gym. The picture showed say he's ready, and I know actually ready. And there are a lot of questions by Obi Pep Guardiola and him say anytime there is a conversation between a player and another club, now you're the player. Either so be you and obey Jaquamuako, you the likes of Cancelo and a whole lot of players. But I think with Savinho, as at now, Pep Guardiola press still he stating says Savinho is still injured and he's not ready to play against Tottenham Hotspur. I think I don't know sir, from the player side, Thomas Frank needed Nkomo and he's okay to move to Tottenham Hotspur. But from the way Pep Guardiola and so put out information, especially on Savinho's injury, HS said he's a player he would like to keep next season. And then yes, Savinho Rico Lewis and so another player. He was under the radar of a lot of clubs.
So I extending the contract.
Yes, Pep Guardiola ever kind say Kwame Bianso he's staying. Why extending the contract? So I think Savinho, he's looking at leaving. I think or share options. So my bad team, where the likes of Ryan Cherky, the likes of some other players, so Munso Itimi Ababu squad. He's looking at say so move it to Tottenham. No bet me enough playing time. I didn't know, but I think Man City a value at 60. Which as of now, Tottenham are willing to put in that money for Savinho. In terms of by the end of the transfer window, he will still be a Manchester City player. The MDB to a Rabiot and Marseille same koso. Now as of now, Marseille about Ben publicly so the Rabiot to transfer, and they are not going to allow him to play till he moves out of the club. And you know, another player, friend Jonathan. And so they are saying said they want both players to leave. No baby sasa de intina and a club 9 is so publicly said both players to leave. I think they've had issues with their discipline in the club. And recently these two players people training ground. They've made it clear. Serious. Ama Dizebi. And this is the second time I deserve any players in a big issue. And I'm no Wakache players they say they need to leave the club. The first one they training ground videos by Wakache player and they say go and call your agent because Kwame Bianso no mpɛ wo ni team. Now the man same way about be obi enim say Rabiot ni agent here ne maame. Na Rabiot bo awa bo we are seeing na no. Inka about the likes of big clubs is Real Madrid, Barcelona, the Juventus, money then na Kenya Obianwa because performance wise, open box to box, midfield obetimi ama goals in so I can't wear you on. But I think the mame being an agent, the back way team store play and development, especially moving to big clubs. Now recently, the mame be releasing statement. Now the mame statement ni me kaya mo be etimi. Or say when Mason Greenwood signed for Marseille. After hitting his girlfriend, De Zerbi said he could give him a second chance. I agree with giving people second chance, but is my son the only person not entitled to having a second chance? As some more people bizarre De Zerbi and Marseille in paying for no. And I think, sir, one thing that affected Rabiot's career, especially you who so team when team releasing you do be ultimate over 6 months to a whole year, no club. It's based on the way Nema back out publicly to speak concerning the Nyame Koso. I think club to club the agent beat me out Kotanasi. The club need you come. Oh, I want you to give maybe my son or my client another chance. Now on to me who they see yen fan to echi. But Osha Rabiota from the past, Juventus, there were a whole lot of issues with nightclub incidents. Club team they lose so much. They were looking at okay next day training. This player will go for a nightclub. There is other issues and omuni agents nene mami di nkoma oba di obeka ne bo so asem kire no okọ. So this has been something Marseille for person muji sade any free omo media space because in their first game on boy omo do su ye and they don't want any other bad period around their club, especially going to another game, a crucial game more so mutimi winning. So adia Marseille for catcher mameno point blank, they said the player is on transfer. So open the best for his son, the best for his client, or the best for his player. Uncle share club for man. So that is the statement. And I think say Rabiot performance, you can't question it. Say Oyini yem to Obobo Oboni with the France national team, with any club you bebo. But the mother being the agent, about be a big factor in the player's career. Still are ultimately stable in any club but as a now Marseille so be a discover they will allow him to go. The price tag on their 20 so they are they are looking at 15 to 20 million. Say any club be about ebebo rema ombetimi aje ama ombetimi aje Rabiot kwan amanako.
Yeah,
yeah, used to mama chair at tea for na my mom akwaba. You do Fridays here. Na ni jaba because virus ne money man Fridays no me pay. Yeah, you better na arrested their train following week, you know. I started in transferring from maybe a money man start here and it was something that na me say come about especially and no I wanted to take on Mikel Obi in sense I'm not kind and I mean Mikel Obi me anytime biana you see when it comes to Nicholas Jackson asama sometimes I don't want to be say bia when my kind of a penasma na be bisa but you see ye na aware say Nicholas Jackson ni career musina waka as a talent and everything adi or lucky pie or say chances clear cut chances now was saying and if you are playing for a club like Chelsea they won't tolerate that a fact so there's a reason why there's this number 9 case at Chelsea in place in fact I can state it with stats and data say Uyi Didier Drogba any Diego Costa everywhere. There's no striker being about Chelsea. Why are this Nicholas Jackson striker more than 2 years for Chelsea? A fact. But yes, we see the reason why me anytime Biana me can say Oma Obidze the last time na there are several times Mahomes a list of Jackson a very good striker. But I don't pay any chances not saying. And Obi Jackson especially Obidze Mikel Obia, I want to be some guys. I mean, he has to own. I don't want to use some words, but on canon to me that he saw Jackson. For the past 2 seasons, Branton ball 14 games, or ball in the first season in the Premier League, or share 14 goals. Yeah, you have no BR expect say Jackson, player, the first one born the first professional football in the half season for Villarreal. No about Chelsea. I share 14 goals, especially in the Premier League. So people were running a comparison with that number 15 JCR or share, and that was one of the jerseys I went to Drogba back Chelsea no share. And I Drogba and then the last time I was embarrassed, I don't have to go back. And we were hoping say in at least in the second season, share 14 goals in the first season. Chelsea going to the second season, still winning Kuku and they competing. And we were hoping say at least in Kabesha more goals when Timmy Ashen goes. And despite the fact say Chelsea last 2 seasons and the last season never been racist because in fact Cole Palmer, who was the top scorer and goals for Shen in the last 2 seasons, wasn't the same as last season. So Chelsea 2 players the 2 previous seasons a lot of goals. Last season they didn't give us that numbers. And you're clear. And now if Chelsea can win the league, compete at the highest level, we have to buy a striker. I don't think any Chelsea supporter or fan now or believe in Nicholas Jackson will say we should still go into the season with just Nicholas Jackson. But here is the case. We went to buy 2 strikers. 2 strikers, or more buying. If you compare that 2 strikers, their numbers to Nicholas Jackson, but we believe that we needed competition anymore. And then we end up buying 2 strikers. Now, so who are 2 strikers who believe that they are going to compete for a spot, which is just 1. And when Joao Pedro was coming, some of us didn't believe that maybe he was going to be a direct competition to Nicholas Jackson because I don't know Obetima born as number 10. And last press conference, Enzo Maresca kind, he said it. But at least Chelsea, on more transfer marketing, I say they are going to buy Garnacho, they will buy Xavi Simons. So the space is now and Kaibia, so Jackson and Lap, then Joao Pedro with new expertise and the versatility go to ball from all these places. You also have backups there. So Mikel Obini money man, they should just shut up.
Mebao, shut up.
Mamin Kamasem.
Mikel
You are part. They should just shut up and leave the boy. Because as of now, Chelsea are not forcing the move. The player is not forcing the move. But when we say now, maybe 3 strikers no, but if Chelsea had the deal for Robert, and there's a reason why Chelsea doesn't want to accept a deal less than $70 million, £1 million.
Yeah.
Because listen, when You bet na high. You can say Chelsea go for Ekitike, and I said it say if Chelsea for Ekitike is at 90 million, they are not because Ekitike and Jackson. I don't see anything different, and in fact, I always pick Jackson ahead of Hugo. And if you follow football, actually, they are players who can play very well at a higher club.
But we should hear Hugo Ekitike. Liverpool now. To be honest,
let me finish my point.
No. You see,
Hugo Ekitike. Hugo Jackson first Premier League game. He scored.
Jackson one share.
Meba. Missing the first Premier League game, he scored. Check.
Meba.
Who going to get then why is it? That is what I want to know. Come on, you have a point. You understand?
Obetuaso. Conversation. Show me. Any program. Show me. Hugo Ekitike. About 2 competitive and now official games. Wamau. 2 over 2. It is clear, sir. The ball striking. It was stretching Jackson. It is clear, sir. Or your clinical Jackson. There is no debate. There be other aspect of game in the said yeah, fair enough. But we've seen Jackson. Say how to kick the ball to the net. Crown a problem. Even balls are washing crown. You could clearly see it was forced. And your natural thing I want say and there's been an analysis I say how was starting the ball. No? He was basically the schemer. Ultimately players on near the other. If you can say to me, Yankas or a bad player. But in terms of clinical,
what shows clinical say that is what I want to know.
What about 2 in 2? What show?
Who's Chelsea got 2 strikers?
What show?
I said competition.
Competition. But Chelsea and Yana doing so. Chelsea's idea was to buy the lap to come and help Nicolas Jackson. Edu baby no mood. The FIFA Club World Cup showed clearly say boy we. See, I'm poor before from bar. But me say si fem.
Oh, FIFA Club World Cup. Is it the red card? And
the red card.
So, you see,
so you
let me finish.
So don't make it feel say Chelsea.
But I'm not saying that Chelsea is forcing the player out. That is where I was entering.
As now the player is forcing.
Nobody is forcing. Nobody is forcing the move. He's training with the team.
He's not training with.
He's training with the team. He's training with the team, despite the fact that he's not part of the squad.
Okay, when we Chelsea training videos,
he's training with the team. But you see, the fact that we know who training video doesn't mean coach. He's training with the team. Media.
Mudrik they have an arrangement for.
He's training with the team. Go and check Enzo Maresca press conference.
Maybe videos that what I say.
The videos in my, but he's training with the team. The only player, Nkuku and Nicolas Jackson, they are training with the team. The only players they are not training with the team. Omo training alone.
Omo ya out of the
squad. Money, but he's part of the Chelsea squad. Omo photo share everything. He did it. But now me issue ni say Hugo Ekitike asem na American. This is the internet me asem American was that time that the player who has played in the Bundesliga scored 15 goals. That is in the best ever season for Frankfurt. And the reason why I wasn't opposed to because already no one to delap you didn't need such player. But now if Hugo Ekitike is coming or Joao Pedro is coming, it means that the boy go. And Mikel Obi as someone can say, he believes that we will need him something is and I know say if Jackson was a Nigerian, Victor Boniface and count on can no. This is a player you've been saying that if you want to win the league, we don't need him. Now you've brought in 2 strikers. Allow the boy to go. So and you see, whether he will stay or he knows me, I know say he is a player that he's here to reach his peak. And who players are, they had opportunity to play at the highest level. They couldn't reach there. But then at some time, picky Abobo na or started picky when he had 26, 27, especially in the best ever season, when you're 27 years. So it is there. Football, no, Obiane how picking in them. Sadio Mane, Dembaba, even DJ Drogba, they all peak. Peak at their late 20s. So maybe I think the agents, because in fact, if you look at the teams of my lining up now, Bayern Munich like here around Aston Villa, it might be very difficult because Kano 70 million financially they are not stable.
But Chelsea and Aston Villa have a good relationship.
That and American said that it will only come to sell Abia Chelsea for say on the loan. And that loan no they won't accept they will pay some of the money. Last year September Yana Jackson sounds extended the contract to the salary sounds money cost. So Aston Villa, the player has a very good relationship, especially with Unai Emery, who make him the Unai Emery or man a chance man boy at Villarreal. And when extending the contract last year September for Chelsea, he mentioned him. Say or they are today in Abeka Komano. Newcastle also looking at the situation. If they decide, say they will sell Isaac. Now, they will sell Isaac. I still think they can still go in for Jackson and Wissa because already their plan for Newcastle was say they will buy a striker to deputize Obi to say Alexander Isaac because Callum Wilson will free all the West Ham.
Would they have the money? They can they spend all Isaac's money? No, because you are getting Wissa for like 40, right?
Then now Brentford is 60.
And Nicola Jackson so almost 60.
It's the
120.
Hence 120, 60 and 70, but it's not like one.
Almost now they have to sell players. Say
Amaton Ramsey. And you see, we know the tennis. The reason why already they have no say Omoto 2 strikers. So even when Isaac was there, they were still going to buy Hugo Ekitike. Now doing saying say Liverpool got Hugo Ekitike and Omoto, they would buy because they float Callum Wilson, Nisika no Belgian. But I don't want to mean and say if they are going to extend Isaac contract, listen, they are going to add 150,000 per week to their books. And there's a reason why they've sold some players. Elliot Mo and Ramsey finally got. So definitely, Omutimino they bought Ilanga. Adiana Kaya saying come pay a replacement because you are playing the Champions League, or about AFA Cup, or about EFL, and you're also going to play the Premier League. So in as much as Omon rescue Omon number one, that is the reason why they needed to buy somebody who can deputize Isaac. And even if next 2-3 seasons Isaac that person can hold a Omutimino for them. So to me, I think say. Now Jackson, wherever he is, and our team, even if team behind me and Richie the position, then he's or yeah, that is so better because team Maresca, they are not moving him about. There's an agreement between teams that if the player is ready to move, and team so I'm a catchy player say if Omunya the 70 million pounds asking price no open, nobody discover, they also leave him to go. The fact that if any of the teams no member for a loan with an obligation, then they will still reach the figures they want next season. They will still do because currently, after selling Christian Renato Vega, Chelsea and LED in player sales this summer, and in fact, go check it the next spender in the whole world. I want also 30 Wrexham Leipzig going now Adams, but these are teams that Wrexham Onyanto player, Leipzig. Ento player, so all these things they are doing a very good business. And yes, still Chuku Emeka reports in a free Germany, but so on Aston Villa, on Dortmund, and they are also hoping that they will add Anselmino on loan to go and play in the Bundesliga. Chelsea any Xavi Simons, then Garnacho there. Personal terms say likely say maybe Xavi Simons he might play in the last match for IB Leipzig against Bayern Munich. Garnacho so likely say
games because I'm out for trying for games into games and first of all me per se mun select 15 matches across Europe. What you say 15 into be a Premier League no match am be select no per se me patch mun select enye den and from yen target say they should center way ebia this week team a wo hwe obey rough no. What I say, you don't go there at all. Into yen center around ebia 15 teams. It made me say, for instance, me 15 teams I'm targeting any me you went to Munya Modian, but by the time I be a mesomabo bomedian so we number huna yakum because this week yeah new last week Friday Marseille any din kwasiasam. Saturday Fenerbahce din kwasiasam. And on Sunday, I say AZ Takma was a day. Edin kwasasam pa. Inti yen my first match, Bayern Munich. Bayern Munich na RB Leipzig ebo. RB Leipzig lose almost 2 strikers up front. Abrante friend Sesko and Openda. and their team almost struggle to score goals. Even almost pre-season, they struggle to score goals. Into a team like that, a very difficult say Bayern Munich after beating Stuttgart. Stuttgart is stronger than RB Leipzig as we speak. RB Leipzig for normal is slow. Papa. Yes, in as much as some players will not be available to play for Bayern Munich, with this starting lineup, Manuel Neuer, Thomas Lemar, Abrante Friend Upamecano, Jonathan Tah, Stanisic, Kimmich, Goretzka, Gnabry, Olise, Diaz, and Harry Kane. You can be rest assured that this team is strong enough to open another wall.
This is only the leading striker.
I'm just Sunderland.
I know Okafor from AC Milan.
They be Okafor call a
Lease.
Yeah. I saw a news linking it to team in the Premier League. I think the lower teams in the league.
No. Right on the leading striker.
Oh, okay. Sorry, and the on the leading way. Now, omo team no, omo nim ho no Nusa no ho da no team na yen baby a Openda no ho yes. E na omo de Bakayoko afri PSV. Ofi PSV ba no na wasa. Na ne form na ate. E na Javi Simons so ho ne ade. Yes, of course, they have a few players near there. But then you can be rest assured that Bayern Munich but first game at home no they will win. Into Bayern match no a straight win. Na wa click early pay out no me pa cho. Click early pay out no me pe assembly me next game here Bournemouth ne Wolves. Wolves are show say going forward and omo very very toothless. Against Man City they was some come share 2-3 goals before Man City be show go no. Omo training is strong, but omo nimu ne ncha da nyaade. What and the omo nimu ne nyaade obviously Bournemouth so echi ne ncha da nyede enyaade. So I omo nyaade for me no na ede ncha, but you can be rest assured say defenders no momo will do a better job against the attackers. So and we hear some enyo ne Evan Nelson. Enimu one there they've not lost too much. Ewo omo nimu ho. Omo chiri no my de omo lose. So Bournemouth home win or draw. Then Arsenal the Gunners, you can be rest assured say Arsenal going into a year Old Trafford to pick that vital way. In as much as omo ball papa biano, omo confidence no will be high. Playing against a year Obini omo free division 1 the championship over. You can be rest assured say Arsenal will beat a year Leeds United. Atletico Madrid any Uchi and Elche. Look, Atletico Madrid, I watched them against Espanyol. Obienua or Atletico Madrid a teaching me. But with the game now me share no. Enya ho resource na day. Yenya no. You can be rest assured say yes, Elche at the ball to pa. Or in terms of possession, we are very good. But I'm tipping a year Bubuko FN Atletico Madrid to win this particular game. A year click a year early payout no. Into munyashe 2 goals pen on take umpe echira sembia. Now Bubuko FN Barcelona or call Levante. Levante is stubborn team. But Barcelona coach no or no omo winning train with July. I will say performance na so nani into obviously obe pushy say omo winning. Enti eye Barcelona so no eyem el committee no a eye straight win. AC Milan ebe trefe ni Cremonese abo. AC Milan striking and shada nye top, but I watch AC Milan against Liverpool. I want AC Milan against Chelsea. And I can tell you say omu team ni ijaka krawum. Meeting Cremonese omu fi division 1 abade. They should be able to beat them. St. Pauli any Borussia Dortmund. Borussia Dortmund attack na die. Bibian shada nye de ensesa wo sa. Gurasi Gurasi the you can be rest assured say Borussia Dortmund will score at least a goal against St. Pauli. A game no almost struggle but they managed to still score. DFB Pokal no inti away goal the man Dortmund. And Lyon any Metz. Lyon win either half against Met. Lyon win either half because omo kwa away ko win against Lens. Chese omo mode money was so. And a Sporting no makofa ko bi e de fi Ameria obo ntina basa. A friend Suarez. Oh you brutal. Na me nim say you carry say if you on come struggle. A chairman almost shekos into form ne mum into Yamfama Sporting Lisbon. PSV any Groningen. PSV are losing a lot of players including our captain De Jong. But still power ni wom. Omakofa akobi aba friend Flamingo. Oh you brutal. To score 2 goals against Groningen. PSV. Fenerbahce though omudi nkwasa sam kire last week. Season started omo sheda e winning omo league game number ebia and a division 1 team no money on bible, so you can be rest assured say Jose Mourinho doesn't play with a division 1 teams no obe share omo ti Fenerbahce yes abefa yes raw men dinse hunu bi anche Villarreal team no power wo papa Nicolas Pepe money and there ball mo bon Thomas Partey so ye den e wo ho ene omo nya Renato Vega ebia no ontimi mo yet they still have enough players omo be share Bubuku a friend Girona almost brutal into former Villarreal or they could win either half or pass on win either half. Real Madrid best Real Oviedo main theatre Real Madrid and Juventus ne Parma my Juventus team anymore still firepower with team anymore into could win either half and Braga and so form Braga will form ko Braga straight win and Galatasaray straight win away win Galatasaray. These are my teams are me select at the amamu.
Okay, until list do my share me teams are weekend way investors emfa omini enkoso with Paris Saint-Germain any Angers games on Bebono. Paris Saint-Germain one thing I made to ahwe for phone say o man pre-season after the FIFA Club World Cup into on performance no enye top notch SNSA hun into their last game obi ehun so mko win just 1-0 game wey a fixture be last season no Paris Saint-Germain ball home still lo share 1-0 into say open option I be call MYBET.AFRICA football amema on say enko hwehwe over 2.5 no over 3.5 bia because by with Paris Saint-Germain team no omum piki senior ye hwe so mbetimi edu into Paris Saint-Germain straight win open say option ni mu yedu a obetimi afa Paris Saint-Germain straight win and a clean sheet ewo ho ebema omo ye Chelsea and West Ham say o share these two clubs are Graham Potter and any other West Ham and former Chelsea coach. Now Graham Potter 3 times was the managerial career we share Chelsea 7 times on winning against Chelsea that 3 ending in a draw and we lose 3 against Chelsea. This fixture most of the time no West Ham mo upper hand kaka ewo Chelsea so intino o show mo last meetings West Ham in 5 games o concede just 4 goals ewo ho Chelsea a team bia the Friday night games no mostly the both team to score never.
Okay.
It is any say o come MYBET.AFRICA no ahwe ni in Friday night games awabo ni na no emu 8 ni na both team to score but ene enye mo ase ebe hu both team to score ewo game we mu o call MYBET.AFRICA me too for say Chelsea win or draw 1.5 and a Chelsea win or draw bet build that both team to score optional bet me afa and the players are ebia ubetimi ahwom João Pedro I think ene ubetimi nya the first Premier League goal at Chelsea so okay player to score João Pedro a player metimi aka Chelsea Manchester City Tottenham Hotspurs game ebekoso no this fixture last season na because Man City ball home no lose against Tottenham so ball home no lose against Manchester City now osha head to head ni dia Man City a team bia ni home games are wabo especially from the start of the season they move for the last 4 seasons no the aggregate goals are winya 14-1 into a 14 goals in 4 home first games our ball no consider just 1 I think game with both sides by attack very sharp into both team to score over 2.5 and option and me too ahwefo for so mbetimi akọ MYBET.AFRICA because Thomas Frank and Branty and kwan bia so mbehye goal Pep Guardiola ensu team no kwan bia so omunsu betimi the goal atum ho Bayer Leverkusen any Hoffenheim new coach a friend Eric Ten Hag and Ababe so team na no and they players so me lose a lot of key players e wo team Frimpong ko Boniface and wetin ebu na Kiteme ko AC Milan Florian Wirtz enso ekọ to meaning say and Ababe new side and eba but de ba ko ametimi amo hu ni say Bayer Leverkusen the last 4 home games obo wo fie Nini na first half over 1.5 ebo. Inti ene se o kwa MYBET.AFRICA na ope optional ubetimi ama osika ni mu ayedua. First half over 1.5 likely say betimi abo. But me to ahwefo for this fixture no from the past 3-4 times o me share o Bayern Leverkusen home bia both team to score and so ebo. Inti ubetimi akọ Bayern Leverkusen home and both team to score and now say first half 0.5 ewo game no man nini na scanning be do ye pa ewo MYBET.AFRICA. You read the Premier League, Bournemouth any Wolves game on Bebo. I think Bournemouth Edda Inyame di say those say defensively no matter on players be any one the likes of Semenyo airball more than bet me abo. Now I think Wolves performance wise no do that peak I expect some bet me do. And now Osha fixture we are Bournemouth were failing to win 60% of the Premier League games. I know a favorite who. Into bedroom so game with Bournemouth your favorite. Ube hono akwa kolusu. Inti se uko game we ametufo. Se hwe hu ye because in himself Bournemouth performance or ball against Liverpool no. Oh.
Ya be wo na wo kire no de onye because wo busa anyama ha. Inti no option I believe say ye no.
Ebe ye no. Yes. Inti Wolves so o a team bia the last 10 games e den you concede. To concede 9 on the last 10 games mo. Inti game we o hwe senior metrics ni na akwa likely say both team to score bebo. Likely say both team to score bebo. Open option ebe ma ho atowa 1.5 and the likeliest option a bit me a game win because both teams ne concede and a quite bia so bia and so bit me a yes I would 1.5 and now open my bet for bet builder no 1.5 and both team to score a option a bit me a call. Arsenal any leads. Arsenal record okuta in the Premier League. Newly promoted side be anywhere on the Arsenal abo wash Arsenal. In their last 42 games on the newly promoted side abo. We winning with 37 and we about draw just 5. Into a quite be anywhere. I don't think say Leeds United beat me and stop it as Arsenal team way. Now we Leeds performance almost other nidia. Ome lusu away games omni landing clubs abono. Ome lusu emu 23 out of 30. Na emu 3 pen emu 4 pen omutimi win here. And na emu 3 end they draw. Into we starts now be back say Arsenal. Eso omutimi pick enough point. This game I would go so bet me Arsenal straight win 1.5. And now say a handicap of -1 Emma Arsenal. So quite be Arsenal bet me actually 2 or more goals in this game because we share the way Arsenal for be film squad even though say Kai Havertz injury in Abano but still Arsenal a poor position say they bet me actually Leeds United ho. Yeah, Dortmund. You him say last season Dortmund performance it do be on and off and then only St. Pauli that is Saturday and on beji mabo. Dortmund team bia season started sana performance wise e will in a nim ye papa obon homodi especially against tough teams on be hard dream. Dortmund the opening fixture in 10 campaigns now we winning. The opening fixture in 10 campaigns now we winning. Na St. Pauli team no say upe team o Bundesliga wetimi a concede more no inti on Saturday enya mo say Dortmund straight win option amekofo. Yen kai say season nan a start. Inti we bet match sharp sa. We bet match 1-0. 1-0 inti Dortmund straight win. And option a me two for seko. In say Germany do mo tie goals but hwe ho ye especially with the season no ashase. Napoli and Sassuolo. Antonio Conte and they were losing the key striker Romelu Lukaku. And unti fixture we ba be a very difficult fixture. Amane pa. O hwe on my last 5 away games on my ball last season nini na under 2.5 no boy. Even with their key man Romelu Lukaku being in their setup under 2.5. This is one fixture I'm sure say Antonio Conte going to Sassuolo they will surely keep a clean sheet. Inti ope best option Napoli straight win under 3.5 option make me 2-4 bet me call Napoli to straight win and a clean sheet because Antonio Conte and now only a good setup especially when the striker ni hono they will look at scoring a goal and defending so well. Ubo Atletico Madrid ni Elche and in their first game on boy nyame nim nkrani ball na edu be bia nka no kra because boy Atletico boy no any the way omu lose game was very disappointing but so Atletico in their last 6 competitive games omu ni Elche abono e move 5 over 2.5 a tie ball intenya mo ase Simeone Mbranti and nei ombe yi omu name abobo na but Atletico same on the way ombe lead na teams na ba beti akono ababeti win no ntime two for say Atletico to score 2 goals Atletico over 1.5 any full game Atletico over 1.5 because on average over 2.5 in their last 5 games out of 6 are omni Elche and so etimi abo yenhwe AC Milan any Cremonese game a ebekọ no. Now with AC Milan Cremonese game na ebekọ no, wohwe Cremonese a newly promoted side and the ombe omadwen say Mass Allegri Brandt and ombe yire omo abo, but any game we football back one be mahwefo ni say AC Milan brightest spark I friend Rafael Leao on Timimbo because with Timia Piqué an injury into ene Christian Pulisic any players na aka no ene betimi eji
Rafael Leao
yes wa Piqué injury
eh ya ko fa na shemu dada
into ene fixture no me to ahwefo for say you expect goals bebre and under 3.5 likely say betimi abo. AC Milan last season almost struggle from winning position ana nyama nkoye into ene AC Milan
yes experience gaffer
yes but me say AC Milan win and under 3.5 and I made me uncle for this game because their key man obey me ejine ma born home modern and they onim.
Okay, me ba omo the probable lineup
baba. Okay. Nti kaka.
Or both three back of Tomori, Gambia and Pavlovic.
Yes.
Magna and I eda posting Salamekes and a wing back no. Fofana, Risi, Ruben Loftus-Cheek, Estopina, Jimenez and Pulisic and a two top. Rafael Leao out.
Yes. Inti the next game I measure AS Roma. Na adeba kwa meka minim say investors steady this idea we pa from January to the end of the league. Roma intimi lose game at home in all competitions when lose game at home. And I think say Gasperini so ababe so team na no they will continue that same form because Atlanta time na Gasperini will hope coach na home form okuta pa or no. And now Roma over 12 unbeaten home record. The last time Otimi achieved our record no was in February 2021. In TNA, they are going to equal that particular record. I think Gasperini and Brandt and bet me about more. And in their last 22 Serie A games on boy, almost share 38 goals. Into Roma a team be a quite be as goals the initial and your more. Into say oh come MYBET.AFRICA against a team I friend Bologna no so a very difficult customer for team a friend Roma. But one thing about this fixture, I mechanic say umpe ne tutu umpe ne nua. The best thing is a second half 0.5 one best option I make for. At the Inter America say Bologna last season 70% of their games almost conceded from 60-minute mark equal into almost second half now so my bre omuntimi entimi yiro ombobo and a Roma so there almost share 38 goals in 22 games. So meaning this fixture would give us goals. But the back I can say a possible win for Roma and the likeliest option to go for a second half 0.5 and so another option I'll wait me a call for and also a 1.5 in this game. You have Barcelona and Levante. Ope team edu baby otimi Barcelona so ye pa Levante, but in their last meetings Barcelona team nya ahoden over a team like Levante. Now Barcelona last season 15 games on boy mu 12 almost 2+ goals. This season almost here with 3 goals or mutiminya in their first game. I think Hansi Flick and Brandt no amumbre any goal share. Going into this game, I'll tip Barcelona to win and also over 2.5 because likely Hansi Flick and Brandt any goals and their last meeting nomine Levante boy Levante home no Barcelona share 3-2. So likely say over 2.5 ebetimiabo and so and the last time pa Levante so timinya a good result against Barcelona no the game ended in 3-3. Okay. Over 2.5 ni there one of the likeliest options are ebetimi abo yenhwe Crystal Palace any Nottingham Forest game no. Now this will be one game a weekend we met na ho ahwe pa ope two teams are yenka say yentine chimbobo no yenye tari weche two teams will the Premier League. And I think Oliver Glasner and Brandt and I don't know said they would have their Conference League game no behind the head of their like at the head of their back say and they going into this game no they don't need to stress that much because the likes of Eze Moko so they will need quality up front. Now here Crystal Palace at their last 7 games no they move 5 against Nottingham Forest now ending in a draw. So this game likely say a full-time draw bet me see. But both team to score one option I made me a for. It is also a risky option full-time draw both team to score one likeliest option I made me a for. And now a 1.5 or a handicap of 2 for Nottingham Forest another option and so I made me a foul. Man United form I think Man United in Brantiano almost show glimpses of what they have against Arsenal. But edu baby, Man United show performance here. Especially when they meet teams that they are ready to sit back, send your monso bono. And Fulham are a difficult customer for Man United. Last season, Man United ain't me and share more than a goal against Fulham. This fixture, one fixture. Marco Silva and Brantiano. Yeah, Bani say Omni City, any Man United they try to do their best against these both clubs. Man United into a team here, they find it very difficult to keep clean sheet away. And in their last 8 games, we keep just 1 clean sheet away. So with this fixture, me too a 4 for say a double chance for Man United. One option I meet me and for and call for 1.5 on this game, and call for 2.5 on this game, because last season it took just a shot out of nowhere from Martinez, and a Man United they pick it at 3 points. Into Fatu go to dream. Say nay, a Man United win or draw. One option made me share. The last game I mentioned a Real Madrid game of a ball. And then Mbedi come as a Real Madrid team. No, this season I'm not seeing them scoring a lot of goals in the La Liga. Into a nay say, oh, share Real Madrid game with Alonso. Afi no can nyame see any ye. In Yaman Peke say, Ubehu say Real Madrid ought ni muedu. A big sign say a nay share ye on that particular fixture. I think the best option I'll be to me call for Real Madrid win, because MYBET.AFRICA Real Madrid win 1.40. I think investor beyond 1.40 there. A good option I'll be to me alpha into 1.40 on the Real Madrid game. At the back with the 15 games I may share this weekend and I may share my bet. I'm a long bet on 100 and 200 plus odds.
Okay.
Now it's weekend we won't wait to me Africa MYBET.AFRICA.
Yes, Listo, there are interesting games because in Yamiaduma this weekend. Let's start it from the Premier League. And the game Chelsea Crystal West Ham ball. It's going to be an interesting game, but then Chelsea and the last 3 away games the West Ham Landing Stadium. No, Chelsea are winning now, and team it is West Ham from last season. In at least almost last 8 games. Almost winning just 1 out of almost last 8 games, and you see Chelsea are winning. Winning back to back. The last time Chelsea winning back to back. Landing Stadium was 11 years ago. So definitely this fixture, the history because Chelsea West Ham Stadium on the but then after just West Ham for winning just 3 of almost 11 games so it makes it very difficult for them. And in fact, Chelsea first game a draw it should be a game at least very very difficult. Chelsea and West Ham will be especially Orlando Stadium. Game so I think that this game a game we might not see a lot of goals in this game. Probably we might see over 1.5 goals, but over 2 over 3 likely say it doesn't seem unlikely say a bit to me about. So I think that in this game I'm waiting for a double chance for Chelsea and over 1.5 goals in this game. So no, we can kind of if West Ham decides and I don't think they will go full out, they will try and press Chelsea. They will play to their game plan at Crystal Palace at the Bayern. And if Eban say Chelsea will definitely create chances, and we should expect over 9.5 corners in this game. Bookings so there because Suchek money, what price money I said the more you should know that there will be a lot of air bookings. In fact, one beside come on flank, so it should be a game and will be made in terms of 2 teams in there. I say in this general will be Todibo, Kilman, Aguero. They will definitely go into their 3-back and a 5-back system. If team Ibo 5-back system means that always they are Obeja just 2 players, be Bowen and Wilson. So the Chelsea defenders, if they don't take care, I think that West Ham is likely they will score in this game. Because Chelsea will go all out, and the least chances on Benyabiano. I think that Paqueta, Bowen, and Wilson any given day on Metma Chelsea in this game. So a double chance for Chelsea over 1.5 goals, over 8.5 corners, both teams to score a highly set, and also a bit me about Listo. City Spurs game is one game. If our advice investors will avoid or more avoid it.
Okay, nice advice.
Yes, maybe fee maybe fee has is it 12:30 or 11:30?
11:30.
I am the passing money man. Akasa because investors.
Yeah, we know
the lunchtime kickoff no there. Early kickoff no there you
last week Newcastle ni we scratch there Aston Villa.
Yembo early kickoff no na fin e ba be rebet. Yem pesa anya man. And list to another thing is this is Brentford since Thomas Frank here in charge of them this too. Since 2022-2023 season, City ni omo show bread. Since that year, omo last 6 games, City are winning 3. Brentford are winning 2. And they back quiet draw. So, Segado le kwa kwisha Thomas Frank. There was a season 2020, I think 2022-2023 season list two. Brentford Ebo City home and away. Yeah. So they are not afraid of City.
Okay, season no more league.
Yes.
The last time more
yes.
no more penny the only team.
Last 2 seasons, I think was 2022-2023 season. And na City, actually Brentford board home and away. Or share 3-1 home and option war Etihad board 1. But last season, City share one home. Etihad 2-1. Omuba Brentford home. Omebo 2-2. So Adibakwa very likely. This game is mostly both teams to score tie ball out of. Since 2021, both teams to score Ambo in just 4 games out of the 8 games. So over 1.5 goals so there a tie ball. Omu games on my and emu 3 pe last since 2021 ABC last season. 2 games spent on my bar. I meant me Ambo 3 games on my bar meant Ambo over 1.5 goals. So in this game, it is a game that I believe that people should avoid. In any day, these two live. City by winning Crabos or question 1. Make a say you a win in over 1.5 B. So in this game, to me, likely say Kamea.
Okay, you move it to
yes. One thing I bet me about and say, hey, your corners. It is something that also over pay more odds to be out the back one. Not walk corners. Another game I list to measure Leeds ni Arsenal. It is a game Obeka Leeds ni Everton bo we me now ball that Faka Abaso ye pass how mo press by list to. At the back say they are going to miss their captain and their main man in the midfield, Ampadu, Opera, and they had to be affected Leeds team. So in this game, and in fact, Arsenal elbow home. You should go for Arsenal win over 1.5 goals. Highly possible. Sad game. Brentford and Aston Villa. Another game at least two. Both teams thinking a perfect start into the season. But Villa game on Newcastle boy. No?
That is match in the 15 match now. Amount for
yes.
Okay.
And I think that Aston Villa they will have out of the total goals almost in the last season. Brentford games on both home behind both teams to score no goals. But last season, the venue goals pure hopper 75 goals. So in this game, over 2.5, over 1.5 goals.
Are you also looking at the fact that the players are not much goals in the Brentford?
Yes,
they are no more.
And the number because in as much as 75 goals, opponents call because they say the total of 75 goals now about that Glace Community Stadium. Most of the Brentford for both scored. I know some conceded in 8 times, 8 occasions. So in as much as goals, they pure honor. Omu tie conceded goals. Omu tie conceded goals. Home. So in this game, over 1.5, over 2.5, both teams to score. Options are obetime you back now they are your bet, especially that is Brentford. Any
with Omu game now, Omu boy with. You see the point I'm a person ocean say now no. Say Omu key players no be out.
Yeah.
Like last season now. Say all this analysis we say go say about no problem.
Yeah.
If you look at Omo performance against Nottingham Forest and how
key players
abysmal they were, Omo 2 marksman for no mushegone, none of them is there.
Yeah.
And in this case, you consider say Omo attack no and yet as strong as last year. But Aston Villa there you can say same. So if Omo concede, what I say, just say Omo defense no there. Omo defense no that's all. Omo goalkeeper no cross out free ho.
Yeah.
Yet last year, no, will be our own. Now they were considering. In this case, away goal will be the most likeliest option than ABR to score. Looking at omo attack, no so any strong no. Omo go go goals this year. Likely so obe ka say omo 2 way for the safest side no. Aston Villa going there to score because if you look at the analysis, conceding high.
Yeah.
Me omo no. Me doubt kakra.
Yeah. So
because a
double chance for Aston Villa, and I see if Aston Villa they are going to score, I see that they will score more than 1 goal in this game. Another game, moving on from the English Premier League, will be Barcelona and Levante. I mean, Barca they showcase they are the best in Spain, and coming up against Levante, I expect Barca to win this game and over 1.5 goals. So likely say, but Real Madrid, Real Oviedo, they don't have any excuse. I expect Real Madrid to also score in this game. AC Milan any Cremonese bebo. It's a game that very very difficult for AC Milan for no. I mean, I think Allegri team, but with the experience of the coach, despite the fact that they will mix key player Rafael, I still don't see say Cremonese will live up to the bill. So make me AC Milan maybe a double chance and over 1.5 goals for AC Milan. Highly possible in this game. Roma any Bologna. Most Roma also and I see Roma winning this game. A new era at the Stadio Olimpico under Gianpiero Gasperini. I think there's going to be an interesting game. I see Roma winning this game. And maybe we might not see a lot of goals in this game. Okay. So, safest option, double chance for Roma. Because Roma, it will 2 odds plus. 2 double chance, 140, 150 be there. And Bayern ni RB Leipzig. It's going to be an interesting game. Bayern, in fact, on Shadow ni bench, but Ulikilan ni players or works this year. Now the total RB Leipzig team this year, I see Bayern winning this game. And PSG, any Angus, so I see PSG winning this game.
Okay, all right. Here, but say House of Folk of a technical director be. I friend René or so. Mami enya edin from on minya na right. Your friend Rennie Hendrick say on my almost sporting director or signed 3 years contract. On my man ndi 6 months crown on my pamono. And our partners are media me obrunia. Me come asem wo court. Yanka asem wo ahimfie ya de insane snap ni odwan akwa kan asem no na ya kase wo munja ma nka ye nu afọ da bi. O de akwa dan FIFA. Emene me no kase. FIFA say Accra House of Folk into $150,000. $150,000. And I House of Folk anticipate this particular ruling. Into what they did, and they say, almost sign you players in term and no register munina ten. Send a bear ban in a bar. Almost sign players. Then no lawyer for a year. Rene Hendrick, your friend David Winnie. Or say House of Folk acted in a dishonest and sneaky manner. They knew the FIFA ban was imminent, which is why they rushed to register players. If they fail to pay René Hendrick, I will petition FIFA to dissolve the club. That is what the traitor Omode Ayede Abba into a news. The local scene. Channel said top 4 no. Top 4 there's a boy scroll money be. Kotoko any Heart of Lions ebebo 3 o'clock ya enchebia ntino. Yeah, first game no Kotoko lusu to team your friend no Go Stars. And I mean ka say Lions lusu to House of Folk ntino. Afunfo mi no na babebo. Kotoko changes kakra o mutim ni mu. Ansu no wasam brutal. Ene omo yina mo na kwotena bench ntino. Ye be hwe na Monday ye be ye na said ni nyina ba hye no so se ochina after the game ye be TikTok live ewo sports.arena.news na ye di hu nkomo wi a us bi wo ho ne ade ye betumi ya de discuss na bibia so etumi ya de akoye otitim ni nyina kan nyame adoma ye be se hya yakra mu.